Good morning. Just check my sound. Testing 1, 2. Yeah, lovely. Just make sure my sound was on. What a morning. I tell you what, picked a cracker today. Look at this. It's sand. I've seen that sand for a while. I've done a lot of river fishing, but I've done well on the river. But I needed some sand today. The weather's beautiful. About 52 degrees Fahrenheit. About 5 to 6 mile an hour wind at the moment. It's just lovely. It's warm. Sky, look at that. Can you guess where we are? Have a guess. See if you can guess where we are. Yeah, you guessed it. We're at Hornsea North. And it's, I've got the beach to myself, but look at the sea state. Look at that. If there's no rays in there's something wrong. I say this all the time when I come like, but I mean, last time I fished here, actually it wasn't the last time, it was about 3 times before that. I had 5 rays and a smooth hound here. The rigs I'm using today is Pully Dropper and Pully Pennel. I've got a Pully Dropper on the SONIK Sport and a Pully Pennel on the SONIK Vader. Both out about, I ain't gone miles out, I've only gone about 60-70 metres out, because obviously I'm after rays and stuff, so I'm not going to go daft. If I get a cod, fair enough. Not really hunting for cod today though, I'm looking for rays. Might even get a crafty smooth hound if you're lucky. I mean, I think it's a bit early for them, but personally. Bait I'm using today is carp, black lug, squid, mackerel, mussel and prawn. So if I don't catch out with that, there's something wrong. Oh, and black lug if I didn't mention it. Courtesy of Angling Centre, Holderness Road. Beautiful worms, as you've seen before. But what a cracking morning. I love it when weather conditions is like this and you sat on the beach and you got it all to yourself, just the odd dog walker moving around. But it's beautiful. This is why you come out, innit, just for this. Right, I'm going to put you on these rods because I've only just got them out and I want to see if we're going to get any fish. Sometimes I'm lucky and first cast I'll get one. Today might be the day. There is a bit of wind, so you might hear a bit of rustling in the back of the Media Mod, but if it gets a bit rough, I'll put it in front of me and I'll put the wind down. I can always drop the camera if I have to. I don't mean drop it literally, but lower it down and use my body as a windshield, and then you won't get no wind on the camera. So I mean, my back had blocked the sunlight out on the side, so there's no worry about me blocking the wind back. Hopefully, shortly we're going to be joined by Wolfman. Gordon is going to fish with me. He's coming a bit later though, I don't know how late, but he said he would be a bit later, so our time's about 12 o'clock. It is 6:30. Well, it's actually 20 to 7. What a beautiful morning. Absolutely beautiful. I'm loving it. The only problem is with these moving this hour, the clock forward an hour, you can get darker mornings now. When I set off, it was still dusk. Dusk, I don't know what you want to call it. It was still dark. Well, not dark, but it was not bright. Put it that way. Obviously, when I got here, it was. I mean, there's supposedly no rain today, and I have brought some wet gear if needed. Looks like there's a bloody storm moving behind me, but I don't think it's going to rain. I think we had it during the night. I expected to be a bit of pull to the right, but in actual fact, sorry, to the left. But in actual fact, it's actually held where it was. I cast the one out on the right, which is the Sport. I cast that to the right and it stayed there. And I cast the Vader straight out and it's bang out. So it hasn't moved, there's no movement. The only thing I don't want to see today is seals. But I'm confident I'm going to get some fish. I mean, I say this all the time, everybody does, but it just looks nice. It looks good for some rays. I certainly won't miss a bite. I'm got my new Penn reels on today, SONIK, me Surfblaster 8000s. First time I've used them, got brand new braid on them. 65 straight through. Beautiful reels. I say I haven't wanged them out too far, but there's an found a lot of lamb, these Surfblasters. Look at them beauties. Ram spankers. So let's see. They haven't gone too far out, but they have got a lot of line on. It's amazing how much the line they hold. So I put the long spools on so they hold even more. It's 530 yards or something daft like that. 30 pounds, so there'll be a good 350, 360 yards on there with a 65 pounder braid on. Just hope the rain holds off, because I'll straighten the camera up a little bit. Good thing about this tripod, it's got a spirit level on it. Oh, they're beautiful though. There's no pull on the rods. Only got 4 ounces. It's beautiful. I could look into one early on. Sets your day up, doesn't it? I might drop this camera anyway, guys. Just let me just lower it. I'm not going to take it right down, but I'm going to lower it. If I can't hard it because there's any gust of wind. I mean, luckily there's no gust at the moment, but there's going to be, so don't get too dizzy while I'm doing this, will you? Right, that's low now, so I can mask the wind out if need be. And we can watch them rods in peace and quiet. I'm actually on the wrong angle at the moment, but I will move my chair along my camp in a minute. But I mean, I don't know how big the tide is today, but it's about 4 hours and a bit too high. And it is a steep beach this, so I won't be moving much. I mean, it's not massively steep like Sandlemere, but it is. I mean, where I am now, it's probably about six feet above the water line, where the water line is. So it's got 6 feet to climb to get to me. I reckon that'll last me a couple of hours at least. But I don't know how big the tide is, so I can't comment. I've got my little woolly hat on. I don't usually wear a woolly hat this early on in the morning in this weather, but I'm just recovering from COVID, so I mean, I've tested clear now, so don't worry. I did test clear yesterday, so but I've still got obviously the after effects of it. That's my third time having it now, and it's not very nice. I didn't recover from the last session I had. I've got long COVID. I've been diagnosed with long COVID, so I'll have even longer COVID now. It's just your breathing. It just doesn't seem to clear up since I had it last. The first time I had it was all right, but the second time the breathing never cleared up really. So I've had a really bad throat since I had it, which you'll probably notice in my videos when I've been coughing a little bit, and I had a rough sounding throat, but it's long COVID. A few little rollers coming in, as you can see. I mean, they're not massive, they're only about 18 inches or so, 20 inches, but it's a bit of movement, isn't it? Doubtful we'll get any bass today, but I don't know if the whiting are on. but I know the flatties are about, and I know the thornies are about, so a few come out. So hopefully, what I'd like is a turbot if I can get one. Whether they're still about, I don't know. I'd love an haddock. That's unlikely as well. But it's more likely going to be thornbacks. I might get a cod if I'm lucky. Probably whiting and flounder, maybe a few dabs. I'll see if I get any, like. But I have been lucky, as I say, up to now this season, so, you know. But I'm more interested in being out on a beach with a bit of sand, in nice weather for a change, and in daylight. I didn't want to come on a night and test these reels out because first time I've used them. And obviously the land needs to go out a few times to bed in, so I mean the first cast on the Vader, it did catch a little bit as I cast out about halfway through the cast. Probably about 30 yards out it caught. So obviously it's not bedded in right on the reel. But each time I'll cast out a bit further in there until I've got it out to where I usually cast it, and then it should be alright. Oh dear, there's a storm above my head and I'm hoping it's not going to rain. If it does, it does. Nothing I can do about it. Got loads of bait, guys. Three big bags of it. So plenty of bait today. Plenty of variety. Right, I'm going to take a break for now because otherwise this battery's going to be dead before I even get it back. Just going for a little chomp up the beach to have a go see Gordon. There's about 35 yards to the left of me on his new SONIK rod. See how he gets on with it. If he starts catching all the cod on it, he's going to send it back. See how's the camera, Gordon?
Oh yeah.
It's Gordon Wolfman. I'm sure he's going to get some videos online shortly.
Yeah, hopefully.
He's got his lovely SONIK black rod. Look at that. You watch that bring all the cod in.
I'm hoping so. Actually, no, I'm not. I don't want cod. I want rays.
Well, that's what I've come for. That's my target today.
Yeah,
rays.
that's my target today.
I mean, I'll settle for one.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
The dozen will be lovely. I've had a bite on both rods so far. I know I haven't put you on the camera with them, but it's only early. So I've had a bite on both rods. I had a nice big pull down on the Vader, but there was out there.
I'll agree with that.
But there is some good crabs about because the other one came back stripped. Now I've put massive squid baits on now, full large squid. So I'm going to try them. Then I'm going to move on to prawn and mussel and see how we get on that. Bit of everything today.
Well, I got bluey and sand eel and blacks.
It's all looking good, isn't it, Gordon? I think me and you are going to do the biz today.
Well, fingers crossed.
Hopefully we're going to get a sack full between us, but there's more anglers turning up. There's one just right up there.
Yeah.
I think there's one went up there somewhere, but I don't know where he's got. Oh, he's up there.
Yeah, he's right down
there.
There's
one up there on the prom. Just walking across the prom there. So there's a few turning up.
Yeah,
because if you don't get here quick, you lose your spot and then you've got to walk miles up the beach. And with the state of our backs, we don't want to be doing that, do we? Get here early, get your spot, and you're laughing.
Mine's going to be dead when I time up there.
That's what I don't look at. This is what worries me, look, because you know what my back's like. It's getting back up then with all your gear. Because when you've got camera equipment and everything, it's there's a lot of gear. So it's not good. But hopefully we'll get some fish. I'm expecting Gordon to give me a shout shortly and say, look at this one I'm pulling in. So if he gets out, I'm going to definitely come back and show you it coming in. Because we're very close together today. There's only about 20 metres between us, so... Yeah, it's lovely. It's about, supposed to be about 58 today. It's supposed to be about 58, so you won't need a coat. Just hope this storm stays away, but it seems to clean up a little bit now. Look at the anglers turning up. I mean, there's stacks of them turning up, man. Stacks. Lovely day to be fishing today, definitely. So hope we can get you some fish. As I say, when I move my camp shortly, you'll get a better view of the rods. I mean, I'm behind them more or less at the moment. It's holding more or less straight out. I've had a couple of bites. I've only been here about 45-50 minutes. I've had a big pull down on this one, but there was out there, but the crabs are there.
Yeah.
Strippity bait. I'm come for smoothies though, is that what you'll come for? Smoothies and rays?
No, there's no smoothies yet.
I don't know if you'll come out, and they're further up the coast, so...
Yeah. There's some rays about. There was a ray down here yesterday.
It's warmed up now. I've had a few here, so I'm quite happy about it, like. I've just got a feeling I'll get a few. What bait you got?
Bluey and lime. Yellowtail. See what happens.
Yeah, well, it's a nice day for it, isn't it? If the storm stays away.
I'm going to go up to Block where they usually come out.
Ah, right. I've had most of mine here where I'm sat, so... Right, let's take a little break. If I get any action on this rod, I'm going to be back. Don't worry about that, but it's definitely funny. It's just going to keep an eye on my rod because it's definitely got a bite on that rod. But I think it's crab. But it could be a ray because it's had a few pulls. The one nearest to was the Vader. I might have to bring it in, but I just think it's a crab. Have you seen any whiting in the last few weeks? I ain't had a whiting for...
No, I've not seen
it. Must be 2 months since I pulled a whiting in.
Yeah, I think
it was Christmas anyway.
Yeah.
That last time we did that Christmas thing.
Yeah.
That was the last time I seen a whiting. It's been all flatties, hasn't it, and cod, that's it, no else. Do you know, I might have to pull that in, it's...
I think you might. I think that could well be either a ray or a...
It's that big on it, I don't really want to pull it in, but... I'll give it one more go, just in case. I haven't seen that big enough to make me want to pull it in. It looks like
it's a rail sitting.
Oh yeah. I think I've got a... Is that a flashy? Oh, a little race that one. I'm going to pull it in. This is definitely not in there. It feels really light. Is it got light? It feels light. That's what you've got used to the wind. There's a lot of power in the grills, isn't there? Very small salmon. So I think maybe I'm in. Yeah, I'm getting some bites back in the
I'll better go and have a look at mine then.
Yeah, I mean, put the big bait probably with get some? Well, I'll be set a little tiny little tree and camel go mate, so going up to the set lots of it then. It goes up from there, don't it? Well fellas, crabs, definitely crabs that. So I'll bring you back over here, definitely crabs. I put the bait back out because I haven't been out that long. It's had a little nibble between the head of the crab and about a quarter of the way up my hook. But definitely crabs. So there is bites out there. Might have to lower the rods a little bit as well because there's a bit of wind and it's causing a few problems. So, but I'll be back if there's any action. But this beach is filling up. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 anglers here now, and it's getting more packed by the minute. There's a few more turning up shortly, so I don't think there'll be a space to be had on here in the next hour. Any action, I'll be back. Oh, fish. Gordon's had loads of bites. Now there, just don't know if it's crab or not. End rod, it's the spot. Just had a cracking little bite on that one, but I just don't know if it's big crab or not because there's been a lot of crab. It looks like there's crabs about, which ain't good for us, like. Keep an eye on it, fellas, and we'll see what's going on. Definitely starting to bite now, though. Bites all over. I'm on straight squid at the moment. Gordon's on bluey and blacks. No, sorry, sand eel and blacks. A bit of wind getting up. I don't know what the wind's like on camera, hopefully it should be alright. Just bring you in front of me just in case because I can put the wind out. There's certainly some bites going now. I'd expect one of us to get a fish. I would have thought all these bites come out. I have had sessions before where I've had unbelievable lot of bites and never a fish. It's just sometimes it gets like that. I don't know whether it's crab or what, so. Yeah, I'm hoping there isn't a lot of crab out there. Might have to try further out if there's crab about. Wind's starting to get up, fellas. It's moved to about 20 mile an hour now. And we won't forecast to be this fast, so I don't know how we get this wind. But it's not cold. Oh, it's a lovely morning to fish. I've been here quite a while now. I've been here 3 hours. I might not seem like that time to you, but the time is now 10 to 10, believe it or not. 10 to 10. I've been here nearly 3 hours. It's 2 hours to hide. Well, 2 hours and 15 minutes to hide, but and I'll be happy if I can get a Wray. I mean, that's what I came for. That's the target species. Don't care how big it is, just, you know, first Wray of the new season. I'll be happy with that. I might have to change bait though. I might have to try some mussel or some squid or something, and some mussel and some prawn or something. I'll try anything really. Right, I'll be back if we get any movement. Sun's out, it's beautiful. I mean, it's getting really warm. Wind's dropped a little bit. I've just been speaking to the guy next to me. He's a nice fella. Forgot to get his name, but I will get it before the end of the day. Had a good chat with him. Gordon's just pulled in a fish, so Gordon's off the mark. I think it was a whiting, I'm not sure. He's not filming it, so I can tell you. So he's off the mark, so he'll be happy. I ain't had one yet, but I've had some lovely bites, but I've moved on now to a pennel and a paternoster. I've took the Pully Dropper off for now because I want to try it with a Paternoster because it'll give me an extra hook out there. It's a two-hook one, obviously. And it's my trusty rig that I usually catch fish on, so I've gone straight black on that. 2 on each hook. And the other one's straight squid on the pennel. I've got all sorts. I've got fish gunk, I've got everything. I've even got carp with me. Mussels, prawn, everything. I think Gordon got that in straight black, so that's what I've gone to. Just got to watch the dogs on here now because I've got a lot of bait out, and I don't want them coming up and eating all my bait because it's all laid out ready to go. I don't care if it dries out a bit because I've got a load of I've got a big pot of fish gunk. I just dip it in, so I'm not worried about that. Gordon's loving his SONIK black. He's caught a fish on it, so he's happy. Christened his new rod. And the guy next to me, we've just been talking to the right of me, he's just had a Rockling, so, and he's got a new rod, so he's just christened his new rod. I'm loving these Penn Surfblasters though. They're just gorgeous for pulling in. Oh, I've just had a nice big nibble. Oh yes, look at the bite on that one. Oh, I've just dropped my bloody coffee. I'm in here with a good fish. Alright. Paternoster, just put it out.
Yeah, that's why I had that whiting on.
Lovely bite there.
Had it all up top of that. Oh well.
What might be on it, isn't it?
Yeah. I reckon it must have done. Well, I've got double sandy all on one and straight blacks on the other. So, oh yeah, great. Let it back out. Just put your lead down in it and send it. It's worth a watch. Alright, get back to your coffee. Drop that coffee. Back in the boat.
I think I might swap to full Paternosters here, guys, because that was definitely the cracking bite straight off the Paternoster. I might dig another one out. I've got a few more already here somewhere. I'm glad you got that on camera anyway, that bite. And now I never got the fish because I looked like I had it. Must have got off. Oh, I still felt like I had it until about 20 metres from the shore. Right, I'll be back if there's any more action. Just had a huge bite on it. I'm on Paternosters on both now, 2 Paternosters. Because I put one Paternoster out and I was getting bite after bite on it. So I put Paternoster on the other one as well now. I just cast that out about 2-3 minutes ago and I just had a huge bite on it. So let's keep an eye on it. Far rod, the orange rod, Vader. Keep an eye on it. There is a lot of crab about. I will warn you in advance. Baits have been coming back stripped. But there's somebody's had a dab, a Rockling and a whiting, so there's definitely fish out there. I'm still blanking, but I expect to catch now and fall up and we're on Paternosters in full black. And I'll be extremely unlucky if I don't get a fish now. Especially with the bites I've had. One nearest to us has been out just as I turned the camera on, so got 3 or 4 minutes max. But I've already had a huge bite on the far rod, so it doesn't seem to have come back, so I'll just keep an eye on it. I'm on black on both rods now, frozen blacks. Gordon's had 2 fish, I think. I've just had the bites, I just don't have the fish. I am using 4 rows though. Maybe gone down to 3s, but I mean 4s will be alright. I'll take flatties on 4s in docks, so in the river, what should I say, so I'm sure I could take them here. I mean really, probably better off on 2 or 3s, but still a lovely day though. I mean, I ain't bothered if I don't bother fish, guys. I mean, I've had some good sessions. I'm not bothered. I'm out on the beach for the first time in bloody months, so well, a couple of months. So I'm happy with lorry. As long as I'm getting bites, I don't care. I mean, sometimes I just don't wait to fish, but as long as I'm getting bites, I'm happy because I know there's fish there. It's when you sit here for hours and end and don't get a bite that's disheartening. But you know, I'm getting the bites. I'm seeing fish coming in from other people, so I know they're there. Thanks to all the subscribers, by the way, as making this video. There's a nice bite on the end rod. I've got 2,276. I'm definitely pulling that one in. It's a good fish, that. Rockling. Gordon. Rockling, yeah. Oh dear, I hope that camera's alright. I knocked you over, guys. I forgot to put my weight on the chair and it's not the camera over. I hope you saw all that and I hope I haven't brought my camera. Luckily I haven't. Just wipe the lens. Right, we're still on, yeah. There you go. I don't know whether you saw that, guys, so I don't know when the camera blew over, but I've got a Rockling. Little wrigglers these. There you go, little Rockling, just as I ain't got a blank. Paternoster, this is the trick. I'll stop the blank. Right, I'm going to get this back out. Happy, guys, I've had a fish. Some fresh black on. Gordon. Come in again, guys. Let's look at a minute. I've got a bite in the rod.
this one back out, so I've got a bike on. Get lance angled. On the other now. I've got a fish on the other line, fellas. I think I missed a bite while I was sorting that one out. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll remember to put this stone back on my chair if I get up, because it knocked the camera over. I'm lucky that I haven't broke it, because it fell right on its face. I don't know how much of the how long the camera was down. I've definitely got a fish on that end rod. The sport. If it goes again, I'll have it. Paternosters are doing the trick today. Now I've got a bite on the other rod. Better get up, because there's a bite on both rods now. Nice one, this Gordon. Rig. Nice one, I know. You saw that lovely bite, guys. It's a beautiful fly, that one. Lovely lip hook. Beautiful. Second fish in the last 5 or 6 minutes, so quite happy. Nice clean fly. Let's get it back.
Watch your dogs, there's some hooks down there. Right, back guys, they're out. 2 fish on the Paternosters. Just shows you, doesn't it? That's the way forward, Paternosters. I'm glad I swapped now. Right, I'll be back if there's any more action. I don't want to waste this back. Oh, I'm in. It's just about to go off. First rod nearest to us. Vader. Lovely bite on it. Looks like I'm not going to get any arrested with these Paternosters. Since I swapped to the Paternosters, they kept the crabs away. Been getting fish. That's a lovely bite, that one. Lovely bite. Having a cracking session now. Bites below now. Paternosters are doing the trick. Oh, the problem is I've got any black lug left. I'm not sure I have. I'm hoping I have. Right, so sit down well. See if I've got any black lug left. Take a little break there for now, guys, while I sort my bait out and try and find some more black lug. Be back in a bit. Hold on. I'm going to put you back on because I've got bites on both rods. It's ridiculous, I can't keep up now. I'm getting bites everywhere since I swapped to Paternosters. Only had 2 fish, but I've lost a couple in the last few minutes. Camera's gone over 3 times. Back's actually killing me. I need to sit down for a few minutes, but it's just been thick and fast with action on the rods. Unless I know I've got a definite fish on there, I'm not going to move now for a bit. I need to get off my back, it's killing me. But it's bite every cast now. It's about an hour from here, I think. I'm going to check now. It's 11 o'clock, an hour and 5 minutes to high tide, and it's gone mental already. Might go a skate if we're lucky. Well, there's any smoothies, it's too early, but you never know, somebody's got to be first, haven't they? Well, the weather's warm enough. I'm actually sweating because I've got my hood up, but there's nothing I can do about it. I might just take my hat off. Just keep my hood up. Yes. I've got my hood up because I can't see with the sun. Well, unless I know for definite I've got a fish on there and it's rigging like hell, I'm not going to pull it because I've got big baits on, and I'm not sure I've got the fish this time because I pulled in the last 3 times thinking I had a fish and there wasn't one there. But it's just gone bloody mental in the last few minutes. Well, the last 20 minutes or so, 25, it's just mental. I was using a pulley dropper and a pulley panel, I wasn't getting nothing really, I had a couple of bites. I swapped both to Paternosters and I've done now but get bite every cast. Only a Rockling and a decent Flounder to show for it up to now. But at least we're not blanking, that's the main thing, and still early, still got 3 hours or so left yet. We need just over 4 hours and I've got 3 to go, so the 3 hours I've got to go is the best fishing. Obviously one of the main reasons I got here early is because I've had to walk right up the beach if I didn't get here early, and obviously I've got a seriously bad back. I wouldn't have done it. So I got here early to guarantee that I was not far to walk on the beach. Well, I'm going to struggle getting up them steps, but it's worth it just to get to the beach. Spread my lines a bit as well now because they're nearly getting tangled, so I've put one slightly to the left and the other one straight out. Actually, while it's quiet on there, I'm going to swap the battery over because I've virtually burned the battery out. There's not much power left in it, so if I swap the battery now, while it's not happening, sod's law, I'll take the camera off, take the battery out and it'll go like the clappers, but see you in a bit. We're back, guys. I've just changed the battery. I'm going to leave you on the rods for a bit because they're still moving. They're still bouncing, still got some bites. I'm having a coffee, so I'm not going to throw this coffee away again unless I know that far rod where I'm getting a lot of nibbles on. There's definitely fish on it. It's turning out to be a great little session. Luckily I've found a pack of 20 black lug and a nice juicy one, so I've got plenty of bait. I love a nice skate now. Or even a turbot. I mean, I love a turbot. if our rod's a bit slack, I can see the bow in the line. I'll have to tighten it in a minute. But I'll have to remember to put the brick on my chair because it keeps blowing over and knocking the camera over. I thought I'd scratched my lens, I hope I haven't. Take that in rod up. A lot of bow in the line. Thought I had a bite on it, but you're not going to be able to tell much now because the bow in the line is quite big. As I say, I've got my hood up. It's not because I'm cold. It's because the sun's in my bloody eye. I can't see. I'm using the hood to cover one of my eyes and put the sun out. It's difficult to see the rod tips. I've probably got a fish on the end rod. It's been ducking and dabbling for the last 10 minutes, but I've been reluctant to pull it in because I ain't seen out of any substantial pull on it, so it'll just be crabs. Right, I'll be back if I see any action. Well, we're back out. Lovely fresh bait, just cast them out. Been out there 20 seconds. Thought I'd stick the camera on because when I've been casting out the fresh bait on, within a minute or so, I've been getting bites, so I thought this time I'd preempt the strike and see what happens. But I mean, we've had loads of bites. Gordon's getting loads of bites. The guy next to me's had loads of bites. I've had 2 fish. The guy to the right me's had 2 fish. Gordon's had a fish so far. But I mean, we all have fish. I ain't seen any come further up there, the beach on the left. I haven't seen any fish coming up there. So whether they're all in this part, I don't know, but I'm still enjoying it. It's good. I mean, it's hectic. I mean, it's a tiring session because I'm up and down like a yo-yo. I've hardly sat down really. First time I've sat down really, so for the last hour. It's been pretty busy. There's no sooner do you get cast out and your camera sorted out and it's bang, you're off. So, but I mean, it's outside in about 20 minutes. I'm expecting that slight water might produce a few big fish. I know there's a few fish, good fish come out of the coast a bit further down. That's saying Pully and Wray, but been some nice rays coming out, so there's a nice bite. You saw that one, didn't you? Let's keep an eye on it just in case it was just a nibble. Well, that was a lovely bite, that one. Well, that's what it's been like. You saw that bite, didn't you? It's been like that, and then it goes quiet like that. So it's, I don't know what they're doing and why they're only doing that, but it certainly didn't look like a crab bite. It looked like a ray bite, that to me, really, or a big flatty. I can't say it was a whiting because I ain't seen a whiting for bloody months. I know Gordon's just had one, but recently, but I haven't seen one. But you saw that bite, didn't you? And that's how what it's been like. Usually when you cast out within a minute or so, bang, that's what's happening. So there is some fish out there. I mean, I'd love a little Wray. I mean, even if it's not massive, just, you know, a little one to get me off for the season. I mean, I had some nice Wrays last season, but I mean, I'd like a huge one, obviously, like everybody. You know, a good 6-7 pounder or something like that, but I'll settle for anything at the moment. As long as it's even a little Wray, just start having them. We all come here with big expectations, hoping this is going to be the session, don't we, when we catch the fish of a lifetime. Whether I've already had that this season or not, I don't know. Certainly probably won't get another one like that for a while. That was just, yeah, I mean, again, that was just a cracker, that fish. And they don't come by that often. That's on that fish, and give it one more little flick. If it's there, I'm going to pull it. One more go and it's mine. Because what's been happening is I've been getting all these little pull downs like this and that, and when I actually pulled it in, there's out there, they've just been showing the bait off, so that's why I thought I'd leave it this time and just see if I can get one actually to hook itself without trying to snatch the bait away from them before they've had time to digest it. There's nothing wrong with the hooks, because I've had a Flounder and I've had a Rockling, and that little Rockling got that up in its mouth with no message, and it was not a massive Rockling, only a little tiddler. I mean, that might have a fish on it, might be sat at the bottom now. The skater got an habit of doing that. Do big pull downs and then they'll sit there and on the bottom and chew on the hook. I don't want to turn my camera off because I've got a feeling I'll turn it off and it'll go and I'll actually look at it. You see, sometimes you get a lot of bites and you pull them too quick and you end up getting more fish. Sometimes you have got to be a bit more patient. Especially when you're using two Paternosters, because you know you've got another hook out there anyway. Get some cracking bites, aren't you?
Yeah. I've had a flatty and a Rockling in this time.
Yeah, I've had a flatty and a Rockling, but
grab like that.
Just had a beautiful bite on this one. Yeah.
What's on the boat?
I thought it said
the boat.
Just blacks, but I thought it looked like a ray bite.
Oh, good.
So I've left the camera on because I've got a feeling it's going to come back. But it might be sat there on the bottom. It's gone a few times.
Oh,
So
good.
initially it was a really good bite, so I'm hoping that it's sat there now, pondering on whether to swallow you up.
Well, I'm going to use it up multiplier now.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a nice session, hasn't it, for bites?
Oh yeah.
But it's one of them where you get like 25 bites and get a couple of fish in it.
Yeah. Now Rockling split me up. That's where any
yeah, I
crab
just brought that in, that great big piece of squid, and it was nothing, just elastic.
Them are the same. They could turn themselves round on the hook card and get off it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally stripped man, bear.
Yeah. That crab I bought.
I ain't leaving them out that long now.
Huh?
I ain't leaving them out that long.
No, I am just one.
There's a lot of blacks though.
Huh?
Mummy said pack of blacks.
Oh yeah. Oh. Well, you get them from Hornsea?
No, I get them from Holderness Road, but these are packed of 20.
Oh.
They're massive, they're like,
Huh?
they're huge, these blacks. But I mean, they've been frozen about 30 times, like that.
Yeah.
They're real, you know, real long ones.
Yeah.
So,
we made some promise one up in back, I remember.
yeah, that's the one I caught them big cod on then.
Yeah. Oh, good.
And obviously I've got a big bowl of before when this comes, don't you?
I've got squid on.
So I dip them in that.
Huh?
Dip them in all that. And you get a nice bit of flavour on your wem.
You learn something new every day, don't you?
Say again?
You learn something new every day, don't you?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what you want to do. Save all your wems, all your squid jigs and your carp and that. When you freeze them and just put your wems in. Gives them a bit more flavour, doesn't it? Is it casting all right, right?
Oh, lovely, yeah.
I've tried them, I can't get used to them.
You don't start upsetting.
I had an obscene bird's nesting one, and it ruined the second. I didn't have a spare reel with me, so I said to myself I won't do it no more.
You can't give in.
Because at the end of the day, you cast just as far.
Oh, you do, yeah.
There's no difference.
Well, it multiplies the challenge.
Well, yeah, it is, but I mean...
No disrespect to you, but I say this. Anybody can throw one of them out.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean, but when you're moving out of these and you've got other things to do,
Yeah, it multiplies the challenge, isn't it? But I'm going better, I've usually got two levers by now. I was just around on double rod, my black sail as well.
Well, saying that, multipliers are just as good as them now because they've got the mags on them, so...
Oh yeah, that's it, yeah.
You set your mags and you're not going to overroll anyway,
15 seconds on that one.
So, I mean, if they've even made them foolproof, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the old ones.
I can take my finger off this
The old Mitchell from years ago with none of this drag and all that.
Oh, yeah.
And you know,
last time I used one was a Mitchell 600p.
You still got a bird's nest in them every other go, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Mitchell 600p. In the mid-60s.
I mean, I remember fishing on dock with one of them and it was nearly every other craft in bird's nest. Yeah. No way you could slow it down.
Yeah.
So I used to get thumb burns and everything.
Well, I saw my car. I went back to Hornsea the year last July and brought my car with me. I worked out how much it cost me tax, insurance, MOT and diesel. It cost me £12 a week to have it parked outside the house.
Oh no, it's expensive.
Oh, you never do the hours away from the beach.
It's just it's just a government cash machine really now, it can't.
Yeah. I worked out it's costing me, I was doing 2 trips down to Tesco and back a week. A 1 mile round trip. It's cost me £12 a week to have it parked outside the house. So it's costing me £6 a mile.
Well, you get an electric bank now and it costs you nothing.
Oh, you won't get a diesel one for less than £1,000. It's like £1,000, someone go up to 10 grand.
Well, you can even get a mobility scooter now, everybody's using them. Well, yeah, they're that, everybody's using them now and it costs nothing, does it?
Yeah. But it's got a fortune to charge them up.
Yeah, it doesn't cost much really. I charge our lasses up and we've got them, you know, them smart meter things.
Yeah.
Don't even know anything to it.
Yeah.
It costs nothing really.
Yeah.
Leave it on overnight, it's fully charged the next morning, you get about 40 mile out of it, 40 mile.
Them bikes do 40 mile on the charge.
That's what I mean, you don't really need that much.
I got rid of this car, really, to get my legs working. As a truck driver for the last 40 years, basically. And legs got no exercise. On the exercise, you always climbing in and out of camp.
Well, that's why I like to come fishing. But I need the cars, obviously. You're right, you're living near the house. I'd be knackered without it. I certainly wouldn't pedal up here. Be a long session, that wouldn't it? Pedaling all the way up here, wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, Runnels is bad when you go to Runnels and you've got to do that big walk with all your gear.
Oh, I won't do it.
So,
I can't do it near.
well, you can't really at Runnels, can you? It's a good half an hour, isn't it, from the car? And if you go the long way, along the cliff top, it's what now, so...
Yeah.
And it's a good venue, there's some good fish there, but it's worth the walk, but if you don't catch now, it's been a hell of a long day.
Yeah.
For nothing.
How's your mate going on? Let me see.
Yeah, he's had some fish, but I mean, he's the same as me. He had lots of bites. He just had a lovely bite a minute ago, but same as I did. They look like skate bites, but I don't know.
We want to see what doggies doing.
Yeah, I mean, it could be doggies. Yeah, I haven't seen a doggy yet though, this season, but I know they're about.
Original, well, born in Hornsea, they moved to Hull, they moved to back. I call them dogfish tennis.
Oh man, getting a bullus on here either. I bet you can get money, can you?
What?
The bullus. Can you get money here?
I've never seen them.
You haven't?
We're only watching them pop up back to back. That's the best part of it, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Another surprise.
Yeah, so we'll go a few big ones before we leave here. It's the best time to come now anyway. You're about 20 minutes to our water, we've only got your slack, so you might get a bit. been a bit limbo. Always nice to have a chat, isn't it, with people. Pretty knowledgeable guy. Always driver, works his car and everything, and he's living near the beach, so good. Just had a bite on the end rod, it was only a little nibble. But they all count, don't they? It has been a bit expensive on the old blacks today, like. But so I'm on the third pack, I'll probably use 4 packs, so that'll be 20 plus quid. An expensive session, like, if you don't get out decent, but at the end of the day, I enjoyed it being on the beach instead of sat on the bank side. You know what I mean? And I do like the macro, and I do like pole, especially when the fish are on. And I'll never knock macro because I've had some cracking fish there and I've had some great sessions, so I'm never going to knock it. And if the fish are there, you fish it, obviously. But it has died off a bit now, macro, because I think it's I think the umber's just about done this season, so it's definitely going to be a lot of beaches now. I mean, I might slip the odd mackerel then in, you know, just to get an extra video here and there, because I know I'll get tons of flatties and whiting in summer. But it's only going to be beaches now. I might even try a weekly one yet, I don't know. Oh, I've still got a bite on that end rod. I don't know if it's anything spectacular, but definitely got a bite. I've left the camera rolling because, as I said, been casting them out and then you've been getting bites, so I am going to take a little break. Oh no, yeah, because that is a good bite. If it goes again, I'll have that. I'll leave you on because you saw that big pull down then, didn't you?
Yeah, it's had a nice pull down. You got a doggy, haven't you? The guy next to me just pulled the doggy, and I think I've got a doggy on this end rod, but we'll find out in a minute. Yeah, just pulled a nice little doggy in. SONIK, I think it's these. I think it's these doggies. That's what he said. He's got a doggy there, but I think that's what it is. I think doggies are about. We won't take it up the first time, but I'm going to come back. Is it a doggy?
Yeah, I'll get him on camera, look. There you go, what's your name?
John.
John. Little doggy. Nice little doggy, you know, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there is doggies here.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about it, weren't we?
Yeah. Lovely little doggy.
No, Mr. Name down in there. You keep still like eels, you know.
Turn him upside down.
Huh?
Turn him upside down.
Yeah, lovely little dog club.
Yeah.
Well, usually they're throwing there. Still going my end rod, so I might have to pull that. I've probably got one on it myself.
I'll get back to off that one. You reckon that is good, so what was that then?
Say again.
Just a fish. It's not a half pound.
Good spot, is it?
Right, it's not a great spotty.
I don't know, that's what I don't know what to do.
No, it's definitely, you won't get great spotty. That's puller. You won't get pullers up here. Very, very.
Somebody had one the other day, didn't they?
Gold.
Yeah, well look, yeah.
Yeah. Nah. Baking soap.
been getting everything up here just lately though. I mean, somebody caught a gilt-edged bream in Humber. There's been all kinds of stuff coming down here, hasn't there?
That's what I'm saying. I think I said to her a while back.
That was a cracking bike.
What man are you on?
Mine.
Yeah, I might not want to a bit this week, but I'm on black at the moment because I was getting white in it.
Yeah, well I've got black and bluey on at the moment.
So some cracking bites. It's a lovely session for bites. You can't grumble.
Oh no. No, it's just cooking them up.
It's still going at the moment. I'm going to pull that because I think there's a fish on it. Problem is laughing, but I mean, it's been going quite a lot. Tiddly. I know there's a fish on it. I'll tell you what, initially, it's really a cracking bait for a little fish, that. There's the dab. There, dabby dab. Oh, come through. Yep. Sweet, never mind. Nice. There we go, guys. I've had a flounder. I've had a rockling. Now we've had a little dab. Lovely see-through dab. Look at that. Transparent. Well, you can see him transparent, but he is. Lovely little dab. So you can go back. I won't keep him that long. He's gone. So I've had 3 species up to now. All on blacks. Fella next to me got that dogfish on, he got it on squid. I'm not swapping for squid because I'm liking these worms. All the fish guys have come off Paternosters, so Paternosters doing the business. Loving the reels as well. Lovely smoked crab. Well, I'm going to have to take a break because I don't know how long this session's been, but I'll probably run a full battery out on it. But there you go, up to now I've had a Rockling, a Flounder and a little dab. So hopefully I might get a doggy with a skate in a minute, or even a cobby. But I'm on Paternoster, so you know, I'm expecting a couple more fish before I go. So it's nearly slack of water, so I'll be back shortly. Nearest was the orange one, the Vader SONIK. Beautiful bite, I mean absolutely beautiful bite. I'm hoping it's I'm hoping I'm going to get a big fish here. Well, nearest to us, fellas, let's look at the fish on it. That was the beauty of a bite. Wind's getting up a little bit. I've got to watch this camera because it's gone over 4 times today and I nearly cracked my lens last time. But that was a stunner of a bite. So let's hope it comes back. You know there's doggies out there because the guy next to me just had one. I haven't had one yet, but if I get a doggy that's 4 species. Or if I get a skate that's 5 species. Wouldn't it be unreal if I got 5 species of fish in the same day? I'd love that. I mean, it's already been a great session. I'm happy anyway. I've had 3 fish. Must have had 30 bites. It's been really interesting. Real busy. It's been one of the busy sessions where not every bite's been a fish, but it's just been it's been really enjoyable. You know, we've had sun, we've had overcast conditions, bit of wind. It's never been cold. It's got up to about 62, 63 Fahrenheit at one point. I was sweating. But I mean, it's cooled off a little bit now. It's probably down to about 56, 57, but that's probably because the clouds have come over and there's a bit of wind. But other than that, what a cracker of a day, man. Best day this year by far. I'm not expecting this tide to actually move us. It's virtually top tide now, I'll let you know. It's our tide in a few minutes. It's actually our tide now, it's like water. It's like water, so I might get some on the turn and get there. So I've had some good bites, and that last one on this the rod nearest to us was a lovely bite. That's all it was. I've wasted loads of coffee today because I keep pouring coffee, just about to drink it and the rod goes, so I've had to put the coffee on the floor, then I forget about it. I've binned loads of it. I've actually run out of coffee. I've got an empty flask. I've got to last 2 hours now without a drink. Gordon's enjoying himself as well because he's been pretty busy as well on his rods. I'm hoping that rod nearest to us goes again because it's a beautiful bite that. I'm going to cut you off for now though because it's going to be an hell of a long video, but I'm not bothered because I don't mind it being a long video because it's on the beach. I ain't done a beach video for that, so you know, I'm glad really that it is a long video. So I'll be back shortly if there's any more fish. Let's go pay Gordon a visit. Let's go pay Gordon a visit because he's on fire down here.
Yeah, well,
Come to pay you a visit, Gordon, to our lovely viewers. Just saying that, it's been cracking, hasn't it, for bites?
oh God, yeah.
It's been a busy session. I mean, I've sat here before, 5 or 6 hours and never had a tickle on it. But it's been great today.
Bites have been coming left, right and centre. But they just don't seem to produce anything.
Well, we've seen dabs, we've seen whiting, flounder,
Yep.
and rockling, and dogfish.
Dogfish.
So there's been 5 species out, haven't there?
Yeah. Well, I was surprised with the dog. Well, the whiting, I mean.
I've just got a strange feeling, Gordon, that one of us has got a £10 Wray written all over us today.
Well, there's. Well, I'm just putting out. I'll just
I mean,
put
look at that. I mean, look at the conditions for that. That's great weather to
Absolutely
raise that. That is
perfect.
real weather, that. Lovely colour. There's a lot of anglers down there. Whether they've pulled any in, I don't know.
I haven't seen anything.
But we haven't personally seen anything coming up there. But there's a couple down there. The guy next to me's had 2 or 3 good fish. And there's another fella after him. But I can't really see him because the breaker's in the way.
Well,
But
I'm using sand eel
yeah, Gordon's on
Bluey.
sand eel and bluey.
and blacks.
And I've used squid. I've used squid and blacks only today, nothing else. It's going to be a long video, this. I'm already on my 2nd battery. But as I say, it's been pretty hectic and I don't mind it if it's a beach venue, so I don't mind a long video now and again. It's just a rendering. But it's definitely been worth the visit up here.
Oh God, yeah.
I've been up here quite a few times this season because I love this venue. I don't know what it's like getting back up them steps over there when we finally go. There's about 50
no
steps
idea.
and when you're carrying
worried
gear with
about-
bad
I ain't
backs,
worried
it's
about that.
terrible. So,
Right. Put this down.
well, the good thing is about these steps, it's in sections, you can stop if you want. And have a sit down on your box for a bit and then set the rest of it, you know what I mean? There's no rush. And we're not spring chickens anymore, are we, Gordon?
No. There we go.
Yeah, we've all got back problems, knee problems, arthritis problems, everything problems. We've all had a few too many meat pies, but we deserve them after our length of time we've been on this earth, don't we, Gordon? Yeah. But I'm one of these that don't bring food when I go fishing. Yeah, I don't really bring out money. Never bother.
Well, I've got a couple of pork pies, but they're only small individual ones, you know.
Yeah,
they're
I
tiny
don't know why I just don't. Probably took all the worm stuff on your hands and that, it puts me
Yeah.
off. But it's all good.
Well, there's bluey out there at the moment. Blacks. So we'll see.
Well, Gordon's about to get his channel going, aren't you, Gordon?
Well,
He's got all his equipment now, he just needs it all putting together now.
Well, it's on its way. Most of it's on its way.
What are you calling your channel, Gordon, do you know?
Yeah.
Is it Wolfman Fishing or?
Yeah, just for
It's going to be Wolfman Fishing then, so it'll
Yeah.
be good. My brother's starting one as well, Ultard Chaser. He's got his gear, but he's finding time because he's a roofer and it's not, he ain't got a lot of time really. It's the rendering part and all that and putting the video together, it's whether we've got the time to do it or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I'm not very good at.
But it takes longer to render a video than it does to record it, so.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I mean, it's a video about 1 hour and a half, 1 hour and 40 minutes. It's going to take a good 18 hours maybe.
Right.
Something like that. Well, it did with mine anyway when I did it in 4K. Whether it,
Well, we'll see.
I think I've got it on 1080 on this one, so it might not be as long. Might be able to do it in about 7 or 8 hours, but we will see.
I haven't worked out the settings on the GoPro yet. But,
Yeah, I'll sort them out for you. I'll tell you what they are and that.
yeah, okay, cool. Well, next time I go, you know, we go together, you can set it up to.
Yeah, once it's all done, just don't touch none of the settings.
no,
It'll always stay. And use your button at the top here because that's automatic.
Yes.
On off, that's it. You don't have to do nothing else.
Yeah.
once you've got all your settings done, then you want to look about with it. Don't bother with your zooming in and out and all that lot, because you don't need to do it.
No.
Just move your camera rather than zoom. Besides, when you zoom in, it goes all pixelated, I think. It's not so clear.
Yeah.
So I prefer to walk around with the camera and get closer view, like.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to toddle back to my rod, see if I can pull that 10-pound brain, and I'll let you watch me pull it in.
Oh, well, do you know, I'll do that.
Will you?
Oh, God, yeah.
As long as you're not pulling it in, and I can't find one.
Don't bother me. Don't bother me.
Let's hope one of us gets one here. Yeah, I would really. It is nice pulling rays in though, because you get the when they open themselves up and cause a lot of drag on the pulling. It's cracking. I'm sure I've had a bite on this, but I can't swear on it. As I was walking back, I thought it was biting, but I'm going to take a little break anyway for now, because it's going to be a hell of a long video. This hell of a long video. So I'll be back if there's any serious action. Well, we're back. Just look at that. That is a storm. There's a storm brewing. I've got some wet gear, but this could cut the session short really if it starts hammering down, because I haven't got heavy wet gear. I've got a pair of leggings with me and it's just my normal coat. If I looked at the weather forecast, it said it wasn't going to rain till this evening, so but, you know, we can't go by that all the time, can we? Still getting good bites, but now else come out at the moment. I don't want to stay on the camera too long now, because I want to keep them short, because it's going to be a hell of a long video otherwise. I mean, I don't mind doing long videos, it's just the rendering side of it that takes a long time. But I keep getting bites, so be interested here. I'm hoping the rain stays away, because I don't really want to have to get all my wet gear out just for the last hour. Plus I'll have to cover the camera up, because it's not waterproof, it's medium weather. Right, I'll be back if I see anything happening.
Right.
What was that one? But what a flat liner that was. Well, I don't know, it's everything else. Definitely a front like that, though.
There's nothing there, is there?
No, it's a front like that. The rod shot right up in the air, bounced on the stand. Around that spot. I would have thought there'd been any cops today, but definitely a cop by that one. Well, that was unlucky, fellas, because that was a big bite, big slack line bite. That was a bit upsetting, not getting a fish there. I thought I was in there for a big one. Dogfish should have pulled that off. Right, there's a big storm coming, a really big storm. It's right behind the room. Right, cut the section short. I'm just gonna cut you off for now and I'll sort this out. And then I may be back if it doesn't start pouring down. Got a bite on the first one, it's got its black spot. Got a few little pulls on it. Tide's going out now. Keep an eye on it. I will pull it if it goes again because they're pulling the fish on it. Weather's been a bit strange. Really bad storm clouds come over and vanishing for the distance. It's a lovely sunny red hot day again now. It's weird. Typical British weather. There's only about 40 minutes of the session left, so I'm hoping I get a couple more fish before I go. But I've enjoyed it. It's been great. It's been lovely to be back on the beach in such good conditions. Wish I'd brought more coffee because I've wasted a lot of it. Keep putting it down to pull bites in and then forgetting about it. So it's just a shame really. thought I'd left the camera on. Sorry about that, fellas, I've left the camera on. I know, I think I've missed a couple of bites. I was talking to Gordon because he's wrapping up because the crack's killing him. And it's quite a hike up these steps. And mine's not that good either, but I'm going to stick it out for another 40 minutes or so, because I've got a feeling I'm going to get a big fish. But yeah, I've had a good chat with Gordon. He's a nice bloke, this Gordon, and he's bringing his channel out shortly, Wolfman Fishing. So I'm sure he'll enjoy some videos off that. So I'll be back if I get any big monster fish bites. Right, I'm back. Rod nearest to us, SONIK Sport Black. Some lovely pull down bites. Hopefully I might get that fish. Just as poured me coffee again, it goes. It's probably the last cast these, unless I catch a big fish, because I've actually got enough bait to last me a while tonight, but I think I've been here long enough now. It's 2 o'clock. Gordon's gone, so well, it's just going. And the guy next to me is wrapping up as well, so there's only me left, all the others who've left. But I said I'll stay a while too. There's a big black cloud coming over again, probably after the gone really, but as I say, I'm still getting bites, so this is probably the last cast. As I bring the rods in, I will be packing them. Just as I say that, it's good, it's raining, so I might get soaked to it. There's a big massive black cloud right above my head. I'm going to have to turn the camera off, fellas, because it's pouring down. It looks like it might be a black flood. I hope not, because my camera's going to get absolutely drenched. I'm trying to find a cover for it real quick, my bag. So I have got some wet gear, like, but I don't really want to pull it on if I can get away with it. I'm hoping that you need for the day. Right, I'm off, and I'll be back if I get a fish. I'll definitely do an outro if I don't. So I'll be back. Great session. I've wrapped all up. Been fabulous fishing with Gordon the Wolfman. I think he's just come back to have a little chat anyway. Really good session, had 3 fish, millions of bites. Gordon's had a few bites as well and some fish. Can't grumble really, it's been fabulous. So hopefully next time I'll be out, will be another beach. So from me, Jimmy Cobb Bites, and Gordon the Wolfman, it's a very good afternoon. See you next time.